Hollywood has a disaster movie, but it has nothing to do with the disaster on the screen, but rather with the tickets being sold, if you know what I mean. Leonardo Dicaprio is getting rich, while the studio that put out one battle after another takes it on the chin badly. Awards may have to actually run away from a pro-anti-FA film that was celebrating everything from the far, far left to what's left for Hollywood, as American audiences now say, no, we will not pay to see this filth. Hello and welcome back yet again. An attitude of gratitude every single time you decide to spend time with us, folks. And you are not spending time, apparently, as Americans, watching Hollywood's propagandistic one battle after another. Now they're trying to hide just how bad it is, downplaying the hundreds of millions of dollars that it's likely to lose in its current flop status. Folks, help us with our status. Click that like button and let's get at it, explaining what's going down and how Leonardo DiCaprio is still getting rich off a movie that is down in the ditch at the box office. Hollywood is trying to hide just how much they lost on Leo's latest movie, but he's getting rich. He's getting rich, and we'll show it to you. Folks, we're going to scratch that itch of letting you know what's going on in the hallowed halls of Hollyweird, where they are losing their rears. Out of Variety by Brent Lang and Rebecca Rubin, one battle after another. That's the pro-anti-FA movie that came out and flopified on release, is now projected to lose $100 million theatrically as Smoshing Machine. No, that's not Austin Powers 4. And others also struggle due to oversized budgets. It's way more than 100 million, and I'm going to show it to you. Brent Lang and Rebecca Rubin, again, the authors here. Every Monday morning, which sounds like a Sugar Ray song to me, Virginia-based cinema owner Mark O'Meara pores over grosses to see how the newest releases are playing in his area. Last weekend didn't offer much to celebrate as some well-reviewed Oscar contenders collapsed at the box office. Oh no! Awards winners not doing well? We could talk about Smashing Machine, we could talk about Roof Man, but we won't, because we, folks, are going to where Hollywood's hope was placed, and that is one battle after another. Even Paul Thomas Anderson's one battle after another, led by Leonardo DiCaprio, again, pro-anti-FA. Do you all know what that means, anti-FA? You'll figure it out, I promise. Struggled to break out despite being hailed as a generational masterpiece. A generational masterpiece. Though the global haul of $140 million is impressive for a film that's original, R-rated, and nearly 3 hours long, one battle requires roughly $300 million to break even. Okay, well, let's hang on. We're going to do some math here. Everybody ready to math with me? Let's math together. It says that's because Warner Brothers spent more than $130 million on production. Okay, well, it says more than. For easy math, can we call it 150 since they say more than? Can we do that? Let's all do that together, okay? 150 on production and $70 million on promotional efforts. Okay, cool. You know what? We can even keep the 130 just to help them out. Easy math. $200 million is what we've got here in total cost, right? Everybody got that? And ticket sales are typically split 50-50 between studios and theater operators. Okay. It says $300 million to break even. Now, you all help me out here. I haven't been in math class in a few years, but I'm starting to think that 130 plus 70 equals 200, and that the break even would be 400, because 400 divided by half is 200. I know, it's tough to do this, but I'm thinking it's 400 million as the break even. But it gets worse. Meanwhile, Leonardo DiCaprio typically gets first dollar gross on his movies, meaning he gets a percentage of box office revenues before the studio gets any of the costs covered. In other words, it's a $400 million break even, but it's even more than that because Leonardo DiCaprio gets the money before the studio does, which means it's like, I don't know, 415, 420 now. And yet they call it 300. And that $300 million is how they got to the $100 million loss. So folks, this headline, just using basic math that we showed you, probably should be saying projected to lose $200 million theatrically. Oh, that is painful. Hollywood tried to hide this. Vash, what do you got on it?
Well, I want to go ahead and clarify something as well. You said 130, 150. I mean, there's a Variety article going back to September 11, 2025 by Clayton Davis suggesting that the budget was anywhere between 130 to 175. So 150 is actually a pretty happy medium for that. Just want to go ahead and clarify on those specific things, given that this is a box office budget story.
Now, Michelle, this was a left-leaning dream come true, and Hollywood wanted it to win all kinds of awards. It may not win those awards anymore because it's so embarrassing to them. What do you think of Hollywood trying to do a pro-Antifa, a Portland kind of paradise, and it wasn't treated so nicely at the box office all across America? Now they're trying to hide the damage. Michelle, people are really interested and invested in this movie, at least in its destruction, in a way I never anticipated. What are you hearing?
I'm not going to say it because it has inappropriate language, but there's times like this where I hear one of the final lines of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker when he's sitting there talking to Robert De Niro's character. We'll paraphrase it. You get what you deserve. When you want to put out things that are catering towards one half of the of America, and like you said, it's not even that. It's like it's beyond that. It's like 25% of America. Let's be real. Yeah, that's down with like more the Portland style stuff. This is what happens. Like this movie should never have had such a big budget. If that's what you want to do, if you want to do something like that, fine. But it needs like an indie film level budget.
Right, and it does not. I mean, this thing is absolutely terrible at the box office. And Tom, what's amazing to me, if you're there, is that Leonardo Dicaprio is reportedly from the Hollywood trades going to get paid before the studios do. Like, yeah, how does that happen?
This is a bad move on DeLuca and Abdi's part. Like, this is one of the bad deals they made. Like, a lot of people gave him crap for Joker. I can understand Joker. As I've said a million times over, any producer in Hollywood would have made the same deal for Joker, and the same thing would have happened. That was Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix completely. In this situation, this was a bad deal. This was a bad deal. They should have seen this as a bad deal to begin with. Now, we got to remember and take into consideration that this movie was put into production probably 3 years ago. Was when it was first greenlit. And all that kind of business, and what time of the world were we in then? I get that.
Tom, let me interrupt real quick and just say, because I think
Michelle's right. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I just want to interrupt because I think that you're on the money with this. Tom, I hadn't considered what you're saying. They may have thought they were going to produce this film and it was going to be in the wake of the end of the Orange Man and his supporters, and that this was going to be a victory lap awards movie.
One or the other. Either way, like it was supposed to work that way. And I mean, I've not seen the film yet, so I can't comment on its actual, the film itself, because I've heard mixed reviews on it. I've heard some mixed things from different people, and some things I've heard from surprising folks. Like I thought, okay, considering all the stuff I've heard. So I don't know how to speak to the film itself, but the problem that it has this perception about it is the problem, right? It's kind of like with female driven movies right now. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's good or not. The perception is the problem. And if you have a movie that's perceived as this, Antifa film, of course the audience is going to act like this right now because they're just repelling. It's just repelling them. Now, as far as Leo's deal, he's Leonardo DiCaprio. You're going to get the deal you get with him. If he was behind this movie more so, then I think he screwed them. So, pardon my French.
Yeah, no, I think he did. Listen, of all the things to be worried about your French, that is not one of them. You can say screwed them.
No, because at this point, Leo's last few films have not performed. Let's be real here about this. Leo is, I'm not going to say he's not a movie star, but I will say that he is on a bad track record right now. Mm-hmm. His best film still didn't do that well, and that's the Martin Scorsese one, the
Flower Moon,
horribly titled one, Flower Moon one. Yes. Yeah. So that's done the best of his films probably in the last 5 years.
Yeah. That's rough.
Somebody remind me, when was the last time Leo had a pretty decent hit?
Dwayne Johnson is having a better than the last 5 years.
And then you're not wrong.
What about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, sorry, Vash.
I was going to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably the last.
Yeah, and that's because of Tarantino. Let's be real.
Right, exactly. Go ahead, Michelle. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to say Tom's onto something, because I've actually had this thought, I think, because this movie coming out. It's like Leo, to be such a famous actor and regarded such a really great actor he can be, it's like he's going to go down, pun intended, I guess, with this. The only truly iconic role I feel he's had is Jack, as from Titanic.
Well, one of them. I mean, now he Growing Pains was fine, and he's had some movies.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, he's had some movies, but
wait. Wait, isn't he the reason that Growing Pains died?
Maybe.
Came in at the end.
Yeah, it's like cousin Freddie or something.
I think he was going to leave. I think actually was the problem, but like.
Well, let me go to culture
was actually
though.
A boost to the show. He was one of the few times that cousin Oliver helped the show.
So
cousin Oliver, that's what he was.
Let me go to you, culture, because as we look at this one battle after another, now the trades are trying to say it's only $100 million loser. We just did the math, and we did it like elementary style. It's not hard to figure out. They might be hiding something. But culture, this is a movie that probably needs 400, 450 to break even. I don't see it breaking 200 million. So
yeah, I think it's struggling because it's in the 140s globally right now. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, so he's got a first dollar contract. So they're not going to get that money. He's going to get that money on a first dollar contract. He's going to get money from this. And on top of what he was paid, I would imagine. So I'm looking and going, they're really not going to make anything close to profitability. It's going to lose $150 million with the promotion and everything else. Not to
they must have thought they had the same people run these numbers as did the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I think so. And here's the weirdest thing. It's still shooting. It must be because we're at almost 600 million. Anyway, this particular film, I actually did a video about that wasn't even a review because it's just how badly they fumbled this. It's the same problem that, the cult leader had with the Tron movie, right? You can't even blame it on just how terrible they are as actors. Because right now I'm not thinking very highly of either of those men. And, it's the script. It was the lines. It was, the actual it itself, because nobody is going to connect with the evil side of the leftists. I mean, that's, a love letter to the leftist. And Tom was right. This thing was put together 1,000 years ago.
Horrible timing to come out after the tragedy. Horrible timing. Should have delayed it.
They can hope to use it as a point that this is why we can't do this crap anymore. Then that's a plus, but I don't foresee that happening really.
And that wasn't the premise of the film or the marketing of it. So it's just like, if you were the marketing team, I would have pulled up stakes on the marketing and just flipped it to say, the film you have to see because it's not what we want America to descend into or whatever. You could have promoted it that way, despite the fact that in the film wouldn't have made narrative sense.
Oh, the stars would have flipped out, though. The stars would have flipped out. One thing is true, though, ladies and gentlemen, they can't afford to do this anymore. This is so bad, it's making the award show circuit look like they're not going to be, they're going to be short-circuited trying to put this thing in there now, because as much as Hollywood loves a little can-do for the left, they can't stand failure, and highlighting failure is not something they do. Sorry, Leo, but your little trophies might not be on the shelves anytime soon. And folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, it would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell, click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing. And no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun. Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.